Back in Philadelphia, and day 2 of the NCAA Tournament continues from the Xfinity Mobile Arena in Philly. And day 2 brings us game 2 of the day between the Tennessee Volunteers out of the Southeastern Conference and the darlings of college basketball for this entire season. It's the RedHawks from Miami University, 32-1 on the season, and already a win in this NCAA tournament in their back pockets after going through Dayton, Ohio in the first 4 and defeating Southern Methodist University on Wednesday 89-79 for their 32nd win of the year. Now Miami takes aim at one of the big dogs and one of the big conferences, the University of Tennessee. Hello, one and all. I'm Matthew Owens. Welcome back, and we are ready to go. JT joins me again. Thanks for having us in for Game 2 of the day from Philadelphia. Let's start with Miami, one of the biggest stories of the entire college basketball season. They started, of course, the season going 31-0, but despite that undefeated start, people were saying that they don't belong in the NCAA tournament. They don't belong in March Madness. All of the conversation about their strength of schedule and the lack of quality wins, that took on an even bigger, crazier storyline when they lost their first game of the year in the quarterfinals of the MAC tournament. That was 1 week ago yesterday when they lost to UMass, but they did make it into the tournament as one of the last 4 teams to make it. That sent them to Dayton to play in the first 4 on Wednesday, where they beat SMU out of the ACC 89-79. Ian Elmer poured in 23 points, just his 6th 20-point performance of the year, helping the RedHawks to the victory over SMU. So, they've already taken down a big dog in the ACC. Now they're trying to do it again today as they take on an SEC opponent. Travis Steele has his team ready to go. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, they are the number 6 seed in this Midwest region. 22-11 their record, and many people believe they should have been better than that. A lot of close losses throughout the season where they had leads late, but they couldn't finish. They made a lot of mental mistakes deep in games. It cost them plenty. Still, they make it in as a 6 seed, and everyone knows that this Tennessee team is very talented, and that all begins with Nate Ament. We talk about this talented freshman class. Perhaps a part of that class, Nate Ament doesn't get talked about enough. The senior from Cleveland, Tennessee, ranked 10th in the SEC in scoring, putting up 17.5 points per game. Also a terrific rebounder. He is a lot of what stirs the drink for Rick Barnes' Tennessee team, but he's certainly not the only playmaker. In fact, he's not even the leading scorer of this team. That goes to Jacoby Gillespie, a tough guard out of Maryland, that puts up 18 points per game. So what a matchup here this is. The winner will move on to the second round on Sunday to play the University of Virginia, who just earlier were able to dispatch of Wright State in what was a tight game throughout, Virginia winning it by 9. And they'll wait to see the winner of Miami and Tennessee. The RedHawks of Miami, the second highest scoring team in all of college basketball at just under 91 points per game. They scored 89, as I mentioned, on Wednesday in the first 4 win over SMU. Travis Steele, he has built a heck of a team. This is his 4th season at Miami. He was at Xavier for 4 years prior to that. He sends out a starting lineup that includes Luke Skaljack, Peter Suter, the MAC Player of the Year, Ian Elmer, who had 23 against SMU on Wednesday night. Brant Byers and Antoine Woolfolk sets up the front court for Miami. And for Tennessee, Jacoby Gillespie, as I mentioned, leading scorer on the team, 18 points per game. In the backcourt, along with Bishop Boswell, 3-man front court, Nate Ament, the tremendous freshman, J.P. Estrella, a terrific defender, and Felix Okpara, a senior in the middle of this Tennessee front court. And we are underway as Tennessee controls the opening tip. Volunteers in their home white uniforms, and Miami wears red with white numbers and black trim, and the Volunteers put it on the deck early as losing the ball in the right corner was Ament, and Miami comes away with a takeaway, and up the floor they come. They don't have many long possessions, and they won't have a long one here because a left wing three is launched and knocked down. A deep one from the hash mark, far side. Brant Byers out of Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, 40%. Three-point shooter bangs home Miami's first triple. 39% shooting team from three. That ranked 8th in Division I college basketball. At the other end, Tennessee emphatically gets on the board. A lob up top. And upstairs, Felix Okpara slams it down. Could see a really high-level kind of game in this one today. There's another Miami three. They've started 2 for 2. Peter Suter knocks it in. Suter averages over 14 points per game to lead the team. Here's Tennessee on offense again. Near left corner is Ament. Centers up top. Bishop Boswell feeds it right. Taken by Estrella. Backpedals to the outside again. Finds Boswell. Cross-court feed. Estrella with a lob. And another slam for Okpara, the senior from Nigeria. Miami's had 2 possessions. They've hit 2 threes. Tennessee's had 2 possessions. They've had 2 Okpara dunks. Here's Miami on the ball again. Ian Elmer feeds it right. Byers fake the 3. He'll drive it in this time. He stops on a dime. Right baseline. Pivots. Shoots a fadeaway and hits it. Byers has 2 of Miami's first 3 baskets. He's coming off a 19-point game against SMU. And Tennessee with a sloppy pass at the other end. It's a turnover by the Volunteers. 2 turnovers and 2 dunks to start the game for the Tennessee offense. Rebounding going to be a huge story of this game. We'll get into that as we go along, but Tennessee's one of the best rebounding teams in the country. Miami is not, and Miami with a turnover here on a bounce pass that hit the shoe of Perry and ended up in the backcourt, and it's an over and back violation. That goes against the RedHawks. So their first possession that doesn't end up in points. And Tennessee at a midcourt inbound brings the ball up, and they start once again. Out of the right corner, it's spun inside. Estrella, mid-post right, got doubled, tossed it to the outside for a slippery drive to the rim. Ament couldn't get it to fall, but Estrella's there for a tap back. And I mentioned talk about rebounding throughout this game. Tennessee's one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country, and there's their first second chance points of the game. But at the other end, there's points for Miami. Luke Skaljak out of Brecksville, Ohio, hits a fadeaway jumper in the left elbow, and we have yet another Tennessee turnover at the other end of the floor. An offensive foul away from the ball called on Bishop Boswell, who was trying to set a screen. I don't know if he was trying to set a screen, but he certainly came in and just cleared out Byers.
Double kill.
No kidding. 10-6 Miami. And they inbound it and bring it up the floor from our left to our right. Red uniforms, white numbers, black trim, white nameplates. Taken by Elmer, who launches away, and he hits nothing on his 3. And it's out of bounds untouched to Tennessee. So, yeah, let's talk about rebounding here. Tennessee, 3rd in the country in total rebounds. They also have 16 offensive rebounds a game. That's 2nd best in college basketball. Meanwhile, on the other side, Miami ranked 169th in total rebounding. They ranked 343rd in offensive rebounding at only 8 a game. Inside, Okpara spins through traffic, puts it up off the glass in tight. It wouldn't go, but we get a foul underneath. It's against Miami. And truly, what
Matthew
is going to determine this game is if Miami can hit enough of their threes, and if they can just keep making enough shots to where Tennessee doesn't smother them on the glass. JT is with us again. Hello.
Hello. To follow up on what we were talking about off the air, they're a little bit too tangy for me, so yeah. That is so out of context.
It is. First free throw is good from Felix Okpara. He has 5 of Tennessee's first 7 points. The orange and white of Tennessee.
We shall explain more at the media timeout.
Okpara hits his second. The orange and white of Tennessee, the red and white of Miami. And the inbounds pass could not be handled cleanly by Skaljak, who was coming back to get it. Ament was pressuring him, and it's off Skaljak and out of bounds, and a Miami turnover. Gillespie and Ament pressurizing Skaljak there, and saying that it went off of Skowjak. No challenge this early from Travis Steele. Oh, my goodness, and Tennessee on the inbounds pass. Very nearly turned it right back over as it's knocked away from Gillespie. Stays with Tennessee. Number 6 seed in the Midwest, while Miami is the 11. Winner to play Virginia here on Sunday, the number 3 seed. Tennessee on the inbound out of the near left corner. Brought back to the middle of the floor. Gillespie slices in and puts it up off the glass. Around the rim it drops. We're tied at 10. Leading scorer on this Tennessee team, Jacoby Gillespie out of Greenville, Maryland at 18 points per game. Miami back on offense. Peter Suter holds to his left, directs it to his right with a sharp angled pass that finds Trey Perry. He locates off the left wing Almar Atlason. Atlason hands it off, top of the arc Elmer, back to Atlason, and Atlason from Iceland ices a 3 right there, off right arc. Knocks down his first 3. He's a 37% three-point shooter. He had 2 in the win over SMU. On Wednesday, already Miami has hit 3 triples. Of course, we had a bunch of threes hit in the first game on this court today between Virginia and Wright State. Tennessee trying to get one at the other end, but Boswell misses out of the left corner. Rebound Miami, and here come the RedHawks again, and we get a whistle. As Miami was bringing the ball into the front court, we've got a whistle, and I think they may have called a travel just on walking it up the floor. Nonetheless, that whistle leads us to our first timeout of the day. 15:49 to go first half, 13-10 lead for the RedHawks from Miami, who's had a hot start. They've hit 5 of 6 from the field. 3 of their 5 makes have been from bonus territory. So JT asked me while we were off air, have you ever heard of knickknacks? And I said, well, yes, I've got knickknacks right behind me on the shelf that you can see on the camera. He said, no, knickknack crisps. It's like, no, I have not ever heard of knickknack crisps. So, JT has found,
to be fair,
new crisps.
I have just searched them up, and on Wikipedia it has knickknacks in brackets British snack.
Ah, there we go. See? So that checks out. But yes, no, not had knickknacks.
Yeah, the tangy and cheesy are a bit too tangy, so I might just stick with my paprika.
Paprika.
Paprika, yeah.
Well, now that we've talked about British,
would you look at that? That's interesting.
now that we've talked
I've
about,
just had a Sherwin-Williams advert,
Hey!
Matthew Owens, and I may have been involved with some Sherwin-Williams stuff. I may have some Sherwin-Williams stuff on my desk over there.
Now that we have talked about British snack foods for the first time today. Should we do an update of scores real quick, as we have started a new window of games and we're bringing in a new audience with this Tennessee-Miami game? So let's do an update of scores.
Why not? Shall I hit it, or do you want to hit it?
No, go ahead.
All right. Well,
I talk enough around here.
You can never talk enough, Matthew Owens. 12 minutes, 17 seconds left, and, well, Iowa State walking away with it, 79-43 against Tennessee State. Hofstra, Alabama. Alabama lead 49-39. And Villanova, Utah State. Utah State lead 26-20. Yeah, fun story. I may have been given a a very rare a British department store apron by one of the Sherwin-Williams bosses.
Oh.
It was only given as a promotional item for 20 years to all of the staff, and I got one. Back to the game. Do not ask how it is. It is a long story we do not have time for.
Bishop Boswell inbounds for Tennessee. Far side front court, throws it into the back. Taken there by Jacoby Gillespie. And Gillespie drives in hard, kicks into the right corner, and it's played back to the perimeter for Boswell. Boswell with a right-handed dribble. Getting around a hedge by Atlason, feeds it right, shot clock winding down, and launching a three is Gillespie, and the rainbow goes down for Jacoby Gillespie, a 33% three-point shooter. He ranked 8th in the SEC in scoring this year. He knocks down the triple. He averages over 2.5 makes from three per game. That ranked 5th in the Southeastern Conference. Ian Elmer dancing, dribbling, and then cutting it outside. Justin Kirby on the floor for the first time for Miami. Gives it up top for Atlason, who's hit a three. He gives it on to Curl Perry. Back out, Elmer way outside. Three is short. Long rebound out to Perry. Reloading, Atlason puts it up. That comes up short as it hits the front of the rim, and Okpara this time secures the Tennessee rebound. Volunteers bring it up the floor. 13-13, a quick slash and kick into the right corner. Three is missed badly by Amari Evans, but Okpara trying to run the rebound down to the opposite side of the floor in the near corner, couldn't keep it in. It's out of bounds to Miami. Mentioned Tennessee. They played in a lot of close games, and they've lost a good amount of close games with some questionable decision-making down the stretch as Miami inbounds it to Perry. Tennessee has played 33 games this year. Exactly a third of them, 11, have been decided by 5 points or less, and they lost 7 of those 11 as we've got a whistle and a foul away for the ball at Amari Evans, who was trying to take a charge but is called for a blocking foul. So just 4-7 this year in games decided by 5 or less was Tennessee, and that really handicapped this team from having their record soar up to what a lot of people thought it should be, and that's why their seeding is down to 6 in this tournament. Off the inbounds, climbing right blocks was Perry. He got to the rim, and I don't think he realized how open he actually was. A pirouette fadeaway shot misses. He made it tougher on himself than it needed to be, and Tennessee's got the rebound. Ament brings it up. 5-star freshman from Cleveland, Tennessee. Hooks it back Gillespie. Return for Ament off left wing. Drives inside, and he collides into a RedHawk and sends Peter Suter spilling out, and it's a foul defensively on Suter. So a couple of blocking fouls called right in a row. Tennessee will inbound from underneath the basket. Shot clock resetting to 20. Boswell will trigger it in. Sophomore from Charlotte. Slaps the ball with his left hand. Scans the Miami defense. Gets it in up high, outside left with Amari Evans. Shovels it back to Gillespie, who comes for the ball. He stands on the M, lower M, on the March Madness logo at midcourt. Cuts it out to his right. Boswell centers. Jalen Carey into the game. Back for Gillespie. Turns the corner. Kicks into the far corner for a three. Up and down. Boswell sinks it to give Tennessee the lead. Boswell's three makes it 16-13, and that is their first lead, coming about 6 minutes in. Evan Ipsaro into the game for Miami. Gives it up. Up high, it's fumbled but recovered by Byers. Feeds it left for Atlason. Atlason dribbles to his right. Carey defends. Handoff Byers. Byers launching a long three over Carey, who defended it well, and it's an air ball. Out of bounds, untouched to Tennessee, in the second air ball that Miami has shot today from three. Well, they know they have to hit jump shots today, and of course most of those are probably going to be from three. And they're probably not going to be intimidated by Tennessee to stop taking them, but Tennessee has great length on the perimeter. Here's another Tennessee turnover, though. Boswell just took a handoff while standing out of bounds. So Volunteers struggling with turnovers, and they have struggled with turnovers at times today. Or at times this year, rather. They average 12 turnovers a game, and they already have 5 in the first 7 minutes. Here's a quick drive to the rim, and that layup does not go, and Tennessee's running it back the other way, and we get another whistle and another turnover. It's a travel. Well, shots are falling when they get shots up, but my goodness, they're turning it over. Both teams are quite a bit here when they're not getting shots up. Miami had Suter miss a driving layup at one end, and then back the other way, Boswell trying to run quickly. got going too quickly and called for a travel. Here's Suter, player of the year in the Mid-American Conference, brings it up, directs a bounce pass top of the arc. Atlason dribbles along the arc to his right, tried a bounce feed on the backdoor cut by Skaljak. It got kicked out of bounds by a Tennessee player, so it'll stay with Miami. Antoine Woolfolk checks back into the game for the RedHawks, part of the starting five, back in to replace Byers. Inbound from underneath, Skaljak will look to get it in. And bounces it in, and Suter knifes his way to the rim. Great out-of-bounds play, and Suter lays it in. Skaljak gets the assist. 16-15 as Gillespie brings it up. Over the shoulder flip at the top of the arc. Estrella dribbles along the arc to his right, hands it off. Evans feeds it back on the wing. Evans gets it back. Strong drive up the middle. Leaps into the lane, and in the middle of the paint, 9-footer is good on a lean. 18-15 as Miami brings the ball back up the floor. Skaljak dribbles left, spin cycles to the elbow. Fakes a fadeaway, great step through, but he got called for one step too many. And speaking of turnovers, there's one from Miami as he faked the step back, then the step through, and kind of the up and under. Too many steps. Here's Tennessee back into the front court now with Gillespie. Top of the arc, Gillespie dances his way to the elbow, shoulder to shoulder with Kirby, gives it up for Evans. Evans on the outside takes an Ament screen. Top of the arc, feeds it right. It's Ament on the elbow. Takes a step, launches a fadeaway jumper. Right of the lane, swirling miss. Rebound Skaljak for Miami. Right-handed dribble in his red uniform, wearing number 3. Feeds it right, catching Atlason, launches a 3, and another air ball. They've 3 air-mailed threes now for Miami. Tennessee back the other way. Ament with that big engine from the foul line. Stops, turns it into the left wing. Evans feeds it up top. Long 3. Up and down for Gillespie from about 30 feet away. Gillespie swishes down the triple. And Tennessee's on an 11-2 spurt here. Does Miami have an answer before the next TV timeout? Woolfolk leads it at the head of the key. Skaljak dribbles to the foul line. Fadeaway jumper. Barely graces the front of the rim. Rebound pops out into the hands of Gillespie. Racing up the floor. Right down the middle he goes to the rim. And it hits off the front of the rim and crawls in. And Miami's going to take a timeout of their own. Not even going to let it get to the media timeout because Tennessee's on a 13-2 run. They lead by 8. And Jacoby Gillespie with a long 3, and then on the very next trip down the floor, an athletic, strong drive up the middle, and a driving layup, and the Volunteers are up by 8 in the early going in Philadelphia. Now, JT, there is something going on just to my right, and I mean maybe 5 feet to my right. There's something dangerous happening that did not happen at all yesterday.
Dog?
Uh-huh. Yeah. For the first time here since we started this tournament, we have a dog to my right. He has decided for some reason to climb up onto the credenza so he can look out the window, because he can't look out the window from just laying on the bed. No, we got to get on furniture to do this. And the more he looks out the window, the more afraid I get that he's going to see, I don't know, the wind blow and absolutely lose his mind and deafen everyone that is watching, deafen everyone that can hear this microphone.
Incredible.
Produce audio.
Absolutely incredible. Like, my DMs are going crazy, but I do not care since it's JBM, and I'm not on JBM, so what a shame. What a shame.
Well, we're glad to have you here. That's for sure. Even though we lose you for the weekend, which makes us very sad. It's very sad.
Oh, it's so sad. It's because I'm actually going trackside to meet a JBM commentator. Ooh. Ooh. The first time I went trackside and met a JBM commentator was Birch, but it's better than Birch. And
Okay.
let's be honest. Anything is better than Birch.
Wow. I mean, he takes so many shots from you lot. Oh, is the dog? Oh,
You could say
he wanted to leave the room. He is out of the room. Well, that calms my nerves a little bit.
who let the dog out.
Hey, look at there. Wally Zerbiak, who was calling the games in Portland yesterday, is in Portland on day off, and he is watching Miami. That's, of course, where he played in the 90s. 11 seeds are 4-1 with Andrew Catalan on the call. There's a stat. Wow. Wow, 4-1 are 11 seeds when Andrew Catalan is doing their games. Someone did some deep research to find that. There he is. Catalan over there courtside with Steve Lapis calling this game on, is it TNT or TBS? I can't remember now. TBS, thank you. As Miami restarts play. Bringing up from our left to our right. Red uniforms, white numbers, black trim. Handled by Peter Suter, the MAC Player of the Year. RedHawks have missed 7 of their last 8 shots from the field. Skowjak, bounce pass on the wing. Collected by Suter. Dribbles to his right. Looks to turn the corner. Can't. Steps back. 19-foot jumper from the top of the circle is good. Suter, silky smooth on the jumper. Only had 7 points on Wednesday against SMU, but he also pitched in 7 rebounds and 6 assists. All-around game for the MAC Player of the Year. Gillespie, strong drive. Kick it out on the right wing. Ament leaps in. Kicks left corner. Ethan Berg lost the handle, couldn't get a 3 off. Instead, it's up top. Gillespie way outside again. He's hit one long one. Couldn't hit that one from the edge of the logo. Rebound down to Miami, nearing the midway point of this first half. Suter wanted to put his head down and drive past Berg, but Berg holds his ground defensively. Giving up top to Elmer. Flips a one-handed pass to the top of the arc. Woolfolk fakes a pass, pivots at the top of the arc, keeps the dribble alive, and now he loses it. A steal by Berg off the Woolfolk fumble. Berg shovels it in transition where Miami does get back defensively. Estrella gives it right back to Berg, wearing number 35, sophomore from Israel. Left-handed dribble, hops his way to the logo, feeds it right for Nate Ament. Ament blitzed with a double. They want it out of his hands. It is. Around the horn, Gillespie. Feeds short corner left. Evans, jab step, another. Now a jumper. Comes up short over the defensive Byers, who's there to two-hand the rebound. Skowjak speeds into the front court. Gillespie gets in front of him defensively. Fed off to the right. Byers, diagonal, spins in the lane, puts it up, back of the rim, it's off. Rebound Tennessee. One and out go the RedHawks, which could be something we say a lot today with the way Tennessee rebounds. So far, Miami with just one offensive rebound. Amen, entry feed. Estrella tried to play it cross court. It was stolen by Elmer, but there's a whistle first. And it looks like we have a foul going against Miami. 9:09
Matthew.
left, and this will count as the under-12 media. Yes, JT?
I've got the stadium noise in the background, which you might be able to hear as I speak. Interesting. A lot of boos rung out when that whistle blew. Like, a lot.
I'd say there's a lot of Miami fans. It's not a terrible trip at all to get from Ohio to Philadelphia. So I'd say they traveled well.
Yes, because this is Miami O, not Miami FL.
Yeah, and they had, of course, tons of fans at their game in Dayton, in their home state. It was less than an hour to make it from campus to Dayton. As we are underway in this first round matchup between the Volunteers and the RedHawks. Matchup in the Midwest region, 6 seed versus 11. Winner will play Tennessee. Winner will play Virginia here on Sunday.
Matthew.
Yes.
I am warning you now. I may disappear during timeouts due to the fact that that Lady Aurora is active, and I want to go have a look. see if I can see it.
Lady. Oh, I know what you're saying now. I was gonna say, what are you talking about? But I gotcha.
Yeah.
Seth Eves
Known to you as the Aurora Borealis or Northern Lights.
Yeah, right. Our Seth Eves will rejoin us for the evening session games in Philadelphia tonight, so he'll take us through timeouts in the last 2 games of the night, which we'll have for you, UCLA and UCF, and UConn and Furman. We had a game like that yesterday that was all letters, UNC and VCU. Tonight it's UCLA and UCF. Good luck.
I'll have a vowel, please, Matthew.
Yes, again, I'd like to buy a vowel, Pat. Rick Barnes, the head coach of the Tennessee Volunteers, from Hickory, North Carolina, now 71 years old. That's hard to believe. He's in his 11th season as the Tennessee head coach. That's also hard to believe. He's taken them to the NCAA Tournament for an 8th time in his 11 seasons in Knoxville. Of course, he's been plenty of places in his coaching career: George Mason, Providence, Clemson, Texas, and coached the Longhorns to a Final Four in New Orleans in 2003. Of course, Tennessee has never made the Final Four in program history, but Barnes has taken them deep in this tournament. Elite Eight, of course, last year, losing to Houston, getting that big win over rival Kentucky in the round prior. He's a fine head coach, Rick Barnes, and I think a lot of people would feel really good if he could get to a Final Four at some point in his career. It's been a shaky end to the season for Tennessee. They have lost 4 of their last 7 coming into the tournament, including losing to Vanderbilt, in-state rival Vanderbilt, in the quarterfinals of the SEC tournament, losing that game by 7. Volunteers inbound from underneath, looped out towards midcourt. Boswell catches, gives to Gillespie, tough drive, banks it up, through contact, and he gets it to drop. Chance at a 3-point play for Jacoby Gillespie. Foul is on Woolfolk. And Gillespie, he has been fearless to start this game, whether that means shooting deep threes or whether that means going into the meat grinder inside and absorbing contact. Gillespie, free throw is good. He's got half their points, 13 of their 26. Has gone to Gillespie, one of the top players all season long in the SEC. As mentioned, that foul was on Woolfolk. That's his second. As Miami brings it back up, Scaljak dribbles left, hits the spin button, gets in the lane, kicks it out on the wing. Elmer free to fire. It's another air-mailed 3. There's been 4 threes that they've taken that has not even struck iron. Rebound Tennessee, up they come. Boswell slows the pace. Estrella screens for him off the right. Feeds it back left. Gillespie entry feed. Right back out by Okpara into the hands of Boswell. Now back for the ball, Gillespie. He wants it in his hands, and he has it. Estrella comes out, fakes a screen, now gives it. Woolfolk with 2 foul switches on to Gillespie, who gives it up on the right wing, where a 3 is launched. It's missed off the heel. Scrap for the rebound, save from going out of bounds by Miami. And then they turn it over, bringing back up the floor, a steal at midcourt, and then Gillespie a lob, and it's thrown down upstairs by Estrella. J.P. Estrella with the dunk down, and Tennessee's lead is up to 11. They're on an 18-4 run now. An extended run over the last 7.5 minutes from a mile outside. Brant Byers misses a logo 3 from straight away, and Tennessee brings it back the other direction. Attacking to our left, home white uniforms, orange numbers, orange trim, and orange nameplates. Gillespie, quarterbacks, left corner, wide open for 3 is Berg, puts it down! Ethan Berg all by himself in the corner, sinks a 3, and Tennessee leads it by 14. 3 minutes now since Miami last scored. Woolfolk quarterbacks at cross court. It comes up top. Suter takes contact, and there's a foul on the floor going against Tennessee. That leads to a timeout with 7:20 left in this first half. Volunteers up by 14, and they are controlling things here early against the regular season champions from the MAC, the RedHawks of Miami. Let's give you an update from the other games. I'll let JT go out to see Lady Borealis, And I'll give you the updates. Of course, this is one of the windows of time where we have 4 games going on simultaneously. Iowa State has already put away Tennessee State. It is 91-55 in favor of the Cyclones. They are deep into the second half. 8 minutes to go in regulation time in Tampa. Alabama has been struggling to put away Hofstra. Crimson Tide lead by only 8 points, 67-59 against the pride of Hofstra from the Coastal. Meanwhile, the 8-9 matchup in the West between Villanova and Utah State out in San Diego. It's as tight as you would think an 8-9 game would be. 36-35 is the score. Villanova by 1 point ahead of the Mountain West Conference champions from Utah State. Those are the other 3 games going on along with us, as well, of course, as Tennessee leading Miami 31-17. The NCAA Women's Basketball Tournament has had its first 4 of the last 2 days. First full day of women's tournament action going on as we speak. And we have had what looks to be, 4 games go final. Starting in Durham, 3rd-seeded Duke beating the College of Charleston 81-64. Another 3-seed got a win over a 14. TCU dominating San Diego, beating UC San Diego by 46 points. 8-9 matchup in Regional 3. Oregon defeating Virginia Tech 70-60. Baylor is also eliminated Nebraska 67-62. Nebraska coming out of the first 4, and there were 5 games that's gone final, the 5th of those being Washington, the 6th seed in Regional 4, defeating South Dakota State 72-54. Those are the 5 finals from the women's tournament throughout the day. 3 games ongoing as we speak. Texas, number 1 seed, as you would expect the number 1 seed to do, they are dominating, leading Missouri State at halftime 44-12. It's not even close in that 116. It's also not close in the 5-12 matchup going on where Ole Miss leads Gonzaga by 31. 68-37 the score there. And then coming towards the finish is Maryland and Murray State, and that one's not close either. Maryland leads Murray State 96-67. So all 3 games going on as we speak in the women's tournament. None of them are close. Texas leads by 32. Ole Miss leads by 31. Maryland leads by 29. And in fact, really the only close game that we've had all day, Baylor and Nebraska. That's the only game through the first couple of waves of games in the women's tournament that has had a single-digit margin of victory. Miami in some trouble here out of the gates as we get set to restart play. They trail 31-17, and Jacoby Gillespie is on fire for Tennessee. He's got 13 points and 3 assists. He's scored or assisted on 23 of Tennessee's 31 points. Miami getting the ball inbounded far side front court. In for Atlason. Hands it back off to Suter. Suter centers on a bounce. Atlason takes it. Hot pass into the middle. Underneath. Up for the layup. Byers got blocked. He gets it back. Lofts it outside. Elmer swings it. Atlason helped it along. Suter off left wing. Shot clock winding down. Down the lane. Banking it up. And not getting it to go was Suter, but a foul is called on Akpara. And it will be Suter going to the free throw line. Been a long stretch here without points for Miami, and Suter will at least try to put an end to that at the free throw line. Bends the knees. First free throw from Suter is good. From Carmel, Indiana. In his 2nd season with the Miami program, he transferred in after 2 seasons at Bellarmine. One more for Suter. And he knocks it down, hits 2, 31-19 with 7 minutes to go in this first half. And the Volunteers will bring it up the floor. Walking stance dribble for Boswell. Right-handed dribble, drifts to his right, hands off Ament, connected back for Gillespie. Gillespie loops a pass to the foul line. It's caught, and leaning in with a floater, Dwayne Brown the second misses. Scrap for the rebound. Tennessee has it. Another offensive rebound here for the Volunteers to reset. Gillespie spoon feeds it right. 3 by Ament. Side of the rim miss. Another offensive rebound. Akpar on the weak side. Back to Gillespie. Cutting up the middle. Running layup. No. Rebound. Tennessee's got it again. They've got a 4th opportunity on this possession. Ament Ament retreats beyond the three. Skip pass cross court finds Gillespie. Can they finally finish this possession with points? They've had 3 offensive rebounds this trip. Deep clock, shot clock at 3. Driving for the right, Gillespie underneath, lefty layup, no! Skips off both sides of the rim, and Miami this time finally able to secure the rebound. 4 attempts that possession at the basket for Tennessee, none of them fell. At the other end, wild dribble into the lane, Byers lost it. Tennessee a steal, 3-on-1 in transition. Brown to the rim! Oh my goodness, he puts Atlason on a poster! Dunk +1! Dwayne Brown II just made Almar Atlason a screensaver. A huge punch down from Brown as he goes over the top and catches a body. That's a big tank coming at you. The freshman from Hoover, Alabama, Dwayne Brown, 6'8", 250. There's no stopping him at full flight. And 1 free throw is good. Tennessee's up 15. Gillespie gets a much-needed trip to the bench to get a breather. Under 6 to go first half. Tennessee, after a bit of a sluggish start, over the last 10 minutes on a 24-6 run, collapsing drive to the basket, however, by Suter, leads to a foul, and Suter will go to the line. Foul from behind on Boswell. So Suter back to the stripe, where he is 73% for the season. Talk about how Tennessee played in so many close games and lost so many of them. Well, Miami played in more close games than perhaps anyone else in college basketball. Suter makes the first free throw. 10 games they played decided by 5 points or less. They went 9-1. 8 games decided by 3 points or less. They won all of those. And they played in 4 overtime games. And they were 4-0 in those games. Suter hits the second free throw. He's got 11 of Miami's 21. Boswell picked up the foul, his second. Tennessee into the front court. Off right wing, taken by Berg. Entry feed Brown. Mid-post right, centered at the foul line. Gillespie right back on the floor. His breather lasted about 20 seconds. Facilitates for Brown. Filtered up top, Berg. Gillespie around a screen. Gives it for Brown. To the rim he goes. And he had the ball knocked out of his hands on his way to the rim by Byers. And it's out of bounds to Miami. So this time Byers stands up to Brown. Got the ball out from behind. And it's going to Miami. Good defensive play by Brant Byers. They need more of that. They need some points on this possession. Got an empty trip from Tennessee. They need to take advantage. Chiseling inside. Suter trying to back in on Berg. Forces it up. No. And the rebound taken with 2 hands by Brown on the weak side. Snaps a pass ahead in transition quickly to Ament. Shoveled Gillespie up top. Long 3 again. And he's got another one. Jacoby Gillespie. All gas, no brakes. Once again, sings the nylon song from 3. His third 3 of this first half. 16-point lead. At the other end, Miami 3 won't fall. Long rebound collected by Atlason, who plays it out on the wing. Shoots a 3. He thought he got fouled. There was no whistle. Airmailed 3 for the 5th time in this half. It's out of bounds, untouched to Tennessee. They have shot 5 air balls from 3 in this first half, Miami. Tennessee has made 5 threes in this first half. Volunteers again. Brought up by Berg. Swings it right. Gillespie down the middle drive. Up with a lob. A catch. A gather. And then a miss by Estrella from inside. It went all the way around the rim. Dropped out. Rebound Miami. Perry accelerates. Up left baseline. Goes to the rim. Off a hesitation. Got 2 Volunteers airborne. And Perry off the hesitation goes up and scores left-handed. 37-23. Just north of 4 to go. First half. Just 2 field goals in the paint from Miami so far. They're being outscored in the paint 18-4. Berg left-handed dribble, swings it right, and Ament was getting grabbed by Suter. Foul is called. Miami shooting just 35% so far. We get our final media time out of the first half. 14-point lead for the Volunteers. could be a real threat in this tournament. Don't think they're getting talked about a lot as a 6 seed, and I'm sure a lot of people have watched them this year and thought, I can't trust this team to win close down to the wire games. But their talent level is real, and they could go on a run in this tournament. If they hold on to win today, they'll get Virginia in the second round. What a matchup that would be. A lot of physicality would be on display in that game between those two teams. Would be a very interesting second round game if we indeed get that. Again, this is in the Midwest region of the bracket. And we've had all kinds of action in the Midwest region already today. Texas Tech beating Akron in that region. Virginia beating Wright State, and Kentucky in overtime ousting Santa Clara. In fact, by the end of this window, all first-round games in the Midwest will have been completed. Last night, Michigan beat Howard. St. Louis annihilated Georgia. And then also earlier today, as we said, Texas Tech over Akron, Virginia over Wright State, Kentucky over Santa Clara. And then we've got 3 games going on right now from this region. Tennessee beating up on Miami, Iowa State beating up on Tennessee State, and Alabama leading Hofstra by 8. All right, here comes fun time. This is going to be fun. I have to step off mic for just a moment. I will leave you in the hands of JT for a bit. And JT, talk about whatever you want to talk about, whether that's updates. If you want to do play-by-play, do that too. This is your time.
Well, hopefully you're back in time, but I know you won't be, so this could be fun. What I'm going to do is I'm going to extend the lead of my stream deck so I can extend it. Hold on. This is behind-the-scenes production right here.
Everybody can now hear why I've had to step away.
Oh, dogs. That explains it. Have fun. As Matthew enjoys the joys of having to deal with dogs, while I enjoy the joys of trying to set up a stream deck in time for the play to head back, I will warn you people that I am a random British guy, and I do not have any boards in front of me, nor do I have any information, but we are back underway. I have pressed tons of buttons, and, well, an immediate whistle on the play, so we did get underway for all of 2 seconds before we had a foul. Free throws for Tennessee, who are now in the bonus. It is up, and it is good. The first free throw, Tennessee, up to 38. It was a Peter Suda defensive rebound was our last play, where the foul came. And it was a foul on Trey Perry. Second free throw goes around the rim and is not in. Ethan Berg misses free throw 2 of 2. On the other side, Miami looking to get in, and a lot of contact, and it is a turnover to Tennessee. Down at the other end, up for a step back jump shot, and Gillespie makes it. It is good. 3 points for Tennessee, and a Miami timeout here as they will try and reorganize themselves as Tennessee lead Miami 41-23. Round the other courts. At the moment, we have a couple of games on. 1 minute and 38 seconds left. Iowa State still walking off Tennessee State. Iowa State lead 103 to 70. Now it updates 105 to 71. Alabama lead Hofstra 79 to 66. Villanova lead Utah State 36 to 33. They've got 2 minutes and 44 seconds left in their first half here. Tennessee 41, Miami 23, and it'll be put back in by Miami and they will go on the charge to the left-hand side of the court. Just passing it round the outside. Now they'll go into the paint, up for a layup, but it misses. It gets passed out for a free. It is made, but a whistle is blown, and that basket will not count. It's a foul on Felix Opera. A couple of subs happening now before we will get the ball back in play. Okpa subbing out, Carey subbing in, and well, the ball was played in, but a bad pass turnover. Tennessee will get the ball. 3 minutes 13 left on the clock. I can see why people don't like doing the scoreboard and commentating, because this is quite hard. If you probably can't see a scoreboard as he's probably on the back screen, but I don't have time to check. Tennessee up the other side, tries for a floating jump shot. It misses. But on the rebound, defensive rebound, and it is good. Estrella had the offensive rebound and made a 3-foot hook shot down at the other end. And clock is stopped at 2 minutes and 44. Official talking with the Tennessee coach. And it was a foul on Ethan Berg. And that'll send Miami to the line for 2 free throws. Brant Byers up, and first free throw is good. More players subbing in. There's Byers. We'll get ready for a second free throw. He's up, and it is good. New score, Tennessee 45, Miami 0. Tennessee 43, Miami 25. There's the ball back in at the other side. And just waiting on the logo. Now passes to the right-hand side into the paint at the foul line now. Just inside, tries for a layup and misses. That's Jen Carey missing that. Clock stops at 2 minutes 24. Possession, Miami 0. As we have a look at the replay of that. Now, down the other side, Suda looking now, and he'll go back out and makes the 3-point jumper, and it is good. 26-foot jump shot, and now Tennessee the other way. 2 minutes left on the clock in this first half. Just waiting, 13 seconds now, 12 on the shot clock. They try and charge in, but being defended well, and a turnaround jump shot made by Amani Evans. Now Tennessee are 45, 28. Here's Suda at the other side. Bounces off the rim. And now Estrella tries for the defensive rebound. Just waiting by the logo. Now they'll try and move to the left-hand side of the court once again. Now in towards the paint. Passes back out. And it'll be a 3-point jumper from downtown. Gillespie, 29-footer. Tennessee lead 48-28. It is a 20-point ball game. Tennessee take their lose it. Use it or lose it timeout.
I consider it a success that we made it to the 6th game of
Hello.
the weekend before we had chaos with dogs. So to make it this far before having all that, like I said, I consider that a success. Anyway, was that fun?
It was alright. It was nice not having any boards.
Oh, jeez.
I was between me, you, and the 17 people who had to listen to that. I was heavily relying on the ESPN website there. I should probably get the scoreboard up to date now that you're going to be up on camera.
Oh, dang, and they've restarted play.
Okay.
Wow, could they have done that any quicker? Holy smokes, Miami inbounds. That was very quick as they now trail by 20, and a right elbow jumper on a fadeaway is knocked in by Skeljack to cut the margin to 18. Great job from JT filling in. Who knows? Might not be the last time today the way we're going with people are outside making the dogs go crazy. It's grass mowing day for many people around here apparently. Anyway, back to basketball. Berg out of the right corner. Flips it up top for Evans. Return for Berg. Backpedal. Shot clock winding down. It's at 7. It's at 6. Berg to the right arc. Wants to drive inside. He does. Finds room. Shovels it on a baseline drive for Masamba, who lost it. It's a turnover and a run out for Miami at the other end. An easy layup for Suter. Clock is still running, and Tennessee will get it inbounded with 10 seconds left. So 2 quick baskets there for Miami. They get the margin down to 16. Now let's see if Tennessee can get one in before the horn. Berg pulls up for 3. It clatters in! Wow, all the way around the rim. It uses every bit of the iron, and it falls at the buzzer. Berg puts Tennessee up by 19 at halftime. Well, could that have tried any harder to go in? Off the rim, the front, then the glass, then both sides, and down. And Tennessee will have a 19-point halftime lead. Wow, I should have just let you carry out the rest of the half at this point. Well,
that would have been an absolute car crash, and I'm saying adios momentarily.
So now he's heading out. So I head out, then he heads out. Yeah.
There we go. Look at that.
Oh,
in other words,
what?
That tells me it's time to go check.
I see.
Basically, it has to be at least an orange alert and a strong orange alert for the south to see it.
The things that I just did not know. JT off to go see lights in the sky, and we wish him the best of luck with that. Halftime here, so we close out the first half. And Tennessee with a 19-point lead, 51-32. They shot 54% from the field in the first half and made 8 threes, including that one from Berg at the buzzer that bounced all around the rim and dropped in. So Tennessee with a 19-point halftime lead, and Miami is in major danger of losing just their second game of the year and their season coming to a close. 8 of 13 from 3, as I mentioned, for Tennessee. Miami shot just 41%, 4 of 14 from 3. Tennessee plus 5 on the glass, gobbled up 6 offensive rebounds in that first half, which we, of course, talked about how the glass should be very much in favor of Tennessee, and it was in that first half. 6 turnovers from Tennessee. They committed a lot of them early, but Miami committed a lot of them total. 9 turnovers in that half for Miami, and those 9 turnovers led to 17 Tennessee points. Tennessee outscored Miami in the paint 20-6. Volunteers' largest lead was 20. Their halftime lead is 19. As they put the clamps down defensively. And if it wasn't for Peter Suter, this would be a real blowout. Suter had half of Miami's 32 points as he shot 5 of 8 from the field and 2 of 3 from distance. Jacoby Gillespie had an otherworldly half. He averages 18 points per game. He put up 22 in that first half, also dishing out 4 assists. He was 8 of 12 from the field, 5 of 6 from three-point range. He was the only Tennessee player to score in double figures, and it was 22 points. So Tennessee racing out to a big halftime lead, and the RedHawks, if they're going to want to keep this magical season going, they are going to have a huge second half. Let's update you from the games in this window. 2 games have gone final. Iowa State thumping Tennessee State 108-74, and Alabama, who struggled to get separation from Hofstra for most of their game in Tampa, finally did. Alabama gets a 20-point victory over the Pride of Hofstra, 90-70, the final score there. So those two have gone final. That means alongside this Tennessee-Miami game, there's only one other game going on as we speak, and it's just come out of halftime. Second half has just tipped off between Villanova and Utah State, with Villanova leading the Mountain West champions by 2 points, 39-37. Just want to update you, too, on the women's basketball tournament games that are going on. We gave you a score update not too long ago. Maryland was on their way to victory over Murray State. That game is now final. Maryland has won it 99-67, a 32-point win for the Terps. Ole Miss heading towards a victory over Gonzaga. Less than a minute to go there, and Ole Miss leads by 10 at 74-64. Texas only gave up 12 first-half points to Missouri State. They are deep into the third. Texas leads 61-26. The number 1 seeded Longhorns. They've, of course, had a great season, won the SEC tournament a couple of weeks ago. So Tennessee all over Miami here at halftime in our second game of the day in Philadelphia. Of course, we're bringing you live streams of all of the Philadelphia games. Later tonight, we will have UCLA and UCF, the 7-10 matchup in the East. And then we'll have the 2:15 game in the East. That is Connecticut taking on Furman. We'll have those 2 games for you later tonight. UCLA and UCF is scheduled for a 7:25 tip time. And that should be a very interesting game between the Bruins and the Knights. 19 is the lead for Tennessee at halftime, and it's going to be a challenge for Miami to get back into this game. We know that, but we saw a 19-point comeback last night with VCU roaring back against North Carolina. See if we get more of the same here from Miami. This magical season of going 32-1. Will they be able to claw their way back into this game? Tennessee, though, if they're to do it, Tennessee's going to have to help them out by not hitting so many of these threes, because, my goodness, they were killing them from beyond the arc. Earlier today, the first wave of games, give you those final scores again in case you have missed them. Texas Tech beating Akron 91-71. Arizona beat Long Island 92-58. Virginia and Wright State, that was close all game long. Virginia getting the win by 9, 82-73. And in the game of the day so far, maybe the game of the entire tournament, Kentucky and Santa Clara, a wild sequence of events down the stretch of that game. Otega Owe hit a driving layup to tie the game with 15 seconds left. Santa Clara came down the floor, hit a 3 to go in front with just a couple of seconds on the clock, and then at the buzzer, Otega Owe, 35-foot runner that he banked in at the horn to force overtime. And then in the overtime, Kentucky outscored the Broncos 16-11. Kentucky getting away with an 89-84 victory, 35 points from Otega Owe to go along with 8 rebounds and 7 assists. An all-time game from Otega Owe. Where that falls among best games by a Kentucky Wildcat in NCAA tournament history, that's a very interesting conversation, because as we know, Kentucky's had a lot of great players play a lot of great games in their history in this tournament. But that is certainly one of the great ones right there, no doubt about it. So Kentucky moves on. They will play Iowa State here on Sunday. Let's tell you all of the second-round matchups that have been confirmed. Let's start with tomorrow's lineup. That will start just after 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Michigan, number 1 seed of the Midwest, will play St. Louis. St. Louis destroyed Georgia last night, so the Wolverines and Billikens will do battle in a second-round matchup tomorrow at 12:10. Then at 2:45, Michigan State will battle St. Louis. Louisville, thank you. We have St. Louis in the first game. Michigan State and Louisville will be a second-round matchup at 2:45 tomorrow. Then a 5:15 scheduled tip in Greenville between Duke and TCU. Duke having to overcome a 13-point deficit to 16th-seeded Siena yesterday. TCU beating Ohio State in the final seconds. At 6:10, in the South region, Houston, the number 2 seed, will take on 10th-seeded Texas A&M. Texas A&M blasting St. Mary's last night. Will now try to take on the Cougars of Houston, who looked as solid as ever last night. At 7:10 tomorrow night, Gonzaga plays Texas. That's the 3 and 11 seeds in the West region. Texas taking down A.J. DeBonsa and BYU last night, while Gonzaga dispatched of Kennesaw State. At 7:50 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow night, Illinois, off of their throttling of Penn, will take on VCU, who came back from 19 down to beat North Carolina in overtime last night. That'll be the second game in Greenville tomorrow night. 7:50 is the scheduled tip. At 8:45, Nebraska battles Vanderbilt. The Huskers coming off their first ever NCAA tournament win last evening, beating the Trojans of Troy, while Vanderbilt dispatched of McNeese. And the final tip time tomorrow at 9:45, the scheduled tip time out in Portland, as Arkansas, with Darius Akoff, takes on the Panthers of High Point, who, of course, got the stunning victory over Wisconsin yesterday. Those are the second-round games tomorrow. And, of course, we do not have a Sunday schedule yet, but the second-round matchups that we know are confirmed on Sunday will include Iowa State and Kentucky, and Alabama taking on Texas Tech. Virginia and Arizona will also play second-round games on Sunday, to be determined opponents, of course. Virginia will play either Tennessee or Miami. The game going on and is at halftime right now, while Arizona will battle the winner between Villanova and Utah State. Speaking of that game, Villanova's created a bit of separation. They lead Utah State 50-42. So it's Nova by 8 in that game out west in San Diego, California. We'll see if Villanova can hang on. Of course, 3 teams out of the Big East made the tournament, and they're all in action today. St. John's plays Northern Iowa later tonight, while, of course, in Philadelphia, we'll bring you UConn taking on the champions of the Southern Conference. That is the Paladins of Furman. Furman, who, of course, had the famous upset of Virginia in the tournament just a few years ago. They're a 15 seed in this year's tournament. They'll try to create what would be a huge upset over Danny Hurley's UConn Husky team. That is the number 2 seed in this East region. So plenty more to go on this day. We're only about a day and a half into the first 2 games. Of course, the first 2 days, rather. The first 2 days of this tournament. So incredible. National holidays for so many people. 32 games across the first 2 days of this tournament. It is one of the great times to be a sports fan in America. And then, of course, after the blitzing of the 32 games on Thursday and Friday, then you get 8 on Saturday and 8 on Sunday. So it comes at you very, very quickly. And, of course, next week we will have the regional games, Sweet 16 on Thursday and Friday, Elite 8 on Saturday and Sunday. Also here on the channel this weekend, we've got NASCAR's Cup Series in Darlington, South Carolina to run the Goodyear 400. That's Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Hope you will join us for that. JB and the team covering the action at tough old Darlington. And a lot of people very much looking forward to that race with the new horsepower package for short tracks, and Darlington also including that package, and a lot of people and a lot of drivers thinking that the race could be extremely wild. We'll see what happens on Sunday. Denny Hamlin, of course, the most recent winner on the Cup Series circuit, scoring his 61st career victory at Las Vegas last weekend. Continuing to count down to the second half here between Miami and Tennessee. And again, we'll remind you that Villanova and Utah State also going on as we speak here. And the lead that Villanova has is now 53-47 is the lead for Villanova. They just hit the first media timeout of the second half. That game ongoing in San Diego. Of course, all the attention on college basketball, both the men's tournament and the women's tournament. Still, of course, full slates going on in the NBA and the NHL. And tonight, in the NBA, 7:30 tip-offs include the Knicks and the Nets in Brooklyn, followed by the Warriors and the Pistons in Detroit at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Atlanta on that huge hot stretch. They're in Houston to battle the Rockets. Celtics in Memphis to play the Grizzlies at 8. Portland at Minnesota also is an 8 p.m. tip. And then at 9, Toronto is at Denver. In the National Hockey League today, the Hurricanes and Maple Leafs with a 7 p.m. puck drop tonight. The Devils are at the Capitals. Colorado at Chicago. Florida at Calgary. And Anaheim at Utah. Big game there between Utah and Anaheim, as the jockeying for playoff positions continue in the West. Wild card race in the Western Conference is going to come right down to the wire, it would seem. Utah currently holds the number one wild card spot in the West ahead of Los Angeles, but the Mammoth are on 78 points, which is the same exact amount of points that the Ducks are on, and the Ducks lead the Pacific Division still. They have a tenuous 1-point lead on Edmonton, 2 points on Vegas in the Pacific Division. Of course, the Central has gotten a lot tighter than most thought it would be. After Colorado's great start to the season, the Avs have dropped 3 in a row, and now they lead by 2 points on Dallas in the Central. Colorado does have a game in hand, and Minnesota is 8 back of the Avalanche. In the Eastern Conference, Buffalo still leads the Atlantic Division by 4 points on Tampa. Montreal sits third in the Metro. It's also an 8-point lead for Carolina on Pittsburgh. Hurricanes just beat the Penguins in an overtime game in their most recent game. Columbus sits third in the Metro, making their big push. In fact, they're 7-0-3 with a 10-game point streak are the Blue Jackets to put them third in the Metro. The wild card race in the East, it's Boston and Detroit that sit each on 84 points and just 1 point up on the Islanders, 5 up on Ottawa, 6 up on Philadelphia for the final wild card spots in the East in the NHL. So once again, closing in on second half for Tennessee and Miami. And the question will be asked, can the RedHawks of Miami University climb back into this game? They got off to an extremely hot start right out of the gates, but Tennessee stiffened up on defense, and the Volunteers just refused to miss many shots in that first half. And again, Jacoby Gillespie averages 18 points per game. He scored 22 in the first half alone. He was spectacular as Tennessee eyes a second-round date with Virginia. JT is back. Hello.
Hello. To say that Tennessee are volunteers, they're pretty good. I think Tennessee might want to look at making them full-time.
Yeah, it's a pretty good crew for Volunteers, wasn't it, in that first half? Oh, jeez. Second half is just about to start. Tennessee players just walking back out onto the court. See, this is a lot of people would think that we're probably crazy for trying to do 8 games in 2 days. And to the people...
That's because you are?
Yeah, to the people that say we're crazy for that, I agree. Because believe me, getting ready for 8 games in 2 days, that means you got to get ready for 16 teams. And I did pretty good. I just about got all 16 teams. I got ready for all 16 in time. Here at halftime, while also trying to talk, so it's not just total dead air here, I'm cleaning up. I'm polishing off my my board that I've got for Furman tonight. They were the last team to get done in the prep for the week. So if you hear typing, that is what is going on. So did you see lights in the sky, JT?
I saw stars.
Oh. Was it a letdown?
It is not strong enough yet to reach. But 11 o'clock, I've heard possibly. But there's one problem with 11 o'clock. It could have been like 20 minutes earlier, you know, like before we started the night session, but it is what it is. Oh, my camera turned off. Incredible. Hello.
Well, once again...
Also, I brought back the old camera angle.
Yeah, you did. I did notice that.
And I sent a picture of it to JB, and he instantly fought back. He instantly messaged me saying, "Are you coming back to the commentary side now?" It's like, how the hell do you get me posted a camera angle? How do you get me coming over back to the commentating side out of me sending a camera angle? Like, yes, this is the camera angle I used when I used to commentate, but I used to commentate with my camera like this. So I don't know what. Anyway, moving on. I thought I would add in my JB Motorsports trophy, my Macau Grand Prix trophy, my W Series trophy, and my British Sidecar Championship trophy. Just to name a few.
Well, here's the question. I didn't know for the longest of time that you had gone away from commentary and you were just strictly producing. But anyway, Tennessee.
I'm a mix.
Yeah, he that's what it's become. Tennessee inbounds to start the second half. And see, not many people can do commentary and produce, but see, that's why you're just the best. Bishop Boswell, right-handed dribble, top of the circle, feeds it left. Ament on the wing, puts it into the middle. Estrella with a lob. That's broken up and stolen. And Miami off a takeaway. Brings it up quickly, and then they turn it right back over. Ian Elmer trying to dribble his way underneath the basket. Dribbled it off his foot and out of bounds.
Matthew.
Yes.
I do appreciate it, but you've got a game to call.
Which, by the way, I have been in contact with Seth, and I told him, JT did commentary for a little while, and he said, well, that's it. JT can only do Tennessee games. I am out. He says, I am out from doing commentary on Tennessee games because JT did it and Tennessee opened up a big lead. So I'm not sure I'm supposed to be doing this right now as Ament gets fouled, dribbling up the right-hand side, Elmer with the reach. But I don't think our guy Seth is going to be happy to learn. Actually, it's Suter who gets called.
Time to turn my hair orange.
Oh boy. Oh boy, that would
For the record, I'm not doing that.
That would be something to see. Oh boy, Tennessee on the inbound. Ament off right arc. He has it poked away. It's another takeaway by Miami. Suter gets the steal, curls his way inside, leans in, banks it up. No, but he is able to draw a foul. I also see that my camera angle has been changed from when I had to leave earlier, so let's on the fly try to fix this to how it was, because it wasn't. Needs to be better. Needs to be framed better, doesn't it? Let's try.
It's moved the tiniest bit.
There we go. We're good now. That's better.
It's literally moved the tiniest bit, but okay. Oh, you guys could see the scoreboard when I was commentating. He just removed your camera, so when I just abandoned the scoreboard because I didn't. When I just abandoned the scoreboard because I didn't think you guys could see it, you could actually see it.
Suter made the first free throw. He misses the second. Yeah, I kept it up. I had to make very quick decisions. Because I knew all hell was going to break loose once the barking started. Anyway, Tennessee ball here. Ament off left wing. Lofted a feed inside, knocked away. Ament recovers, drives left baseline. He has not scored yet today, which is stunning to think of. Miami fans thought he traveled, no whistle. They get it to the foul line, and Estrella hits the 15-foot jumper. Make it a 20-point game. Here's Miami back the other direction. Suter short corner right. Feeds it back up high. Now another ball dribbled off a foot. Suter keeps it alive. Plays a cross-court pass to Skulljack, left of the March Madness logo at midcourt. Dribbles to his right, gives it up. Timer inside of 10. Suter off right wing, tried to get free, couldn't. Feeds it up top, Elmer. They're in a load of trouble here, and Elmer has to launch a three, and that didn't hit anything either. And to my count, that is the 6th three that Miami has launched that did not hit anything. It has been a struggle for Miami O. Gillespie back up the floor. It hasn't been a struggle for him. 22 first half points. Dish is off for Boswell, who dips it inside. Estrella turns, right-handed hook, glass and rim miss. Rebound popcorns around into the hands of Elmer. Here comes Miami. They need a lot of points, and they need them in bunches if they're going to come back here. Elmer tried to split through two defenders. Instead, washed it back outside. Top of the key, stepping in. Mid-range jumper. Misses at the top of the circle. Offensive rebound out of the left corner. Off-balance three. Suter couldn't get it to drop. Rebound Tennessee. Gillespie slips and staggers his way into the front court. Tennessee starts again. Gillespie plays catch on the perimeter with Ament. Gillespie on the drive. Loses the ball. That's another Tennessee turnover. Miami might have numbers the other way. Right down the middle. Skulljack gives it up, and Elmer couldn't control his pass. Miami gives it right back away. And this has been kind of a circus from both teams to start this second half. Ament handles the ball. Quarterbacks it to Gillespie. Back to Ament. Left-handed dribble. Off right arc. Holds the ball over his head. Turns it into the right corner. Boswell, jab step. Back up top. Ament. Screen comes. Drive by Gillespie. Right to the rim. Oh, boy. And as he tried to hoist it up, it was Woolfolk who was there defensively and swatted it out of bounds. Shot clock is inside of 2 seconds. Still Tennessee ball. But a huge block there by Woolfolk, and Tennessee will have to do it quickly on the inbound. They get it into Gillespie. His right corner three hit off the side of the glass, and because it never hit the rim, it's a shot clock violation. Second half has been played by the Keystone Cops so far. I mean, this has been a rough watch. Miami will trigger it in. Suter gets it into Elmer. Elmer right-handed dribble up the floor, crosses midcourt. Okpara in front of him defensively. Passed right Suter, guided onto the wing. Taken by Skaljak, centered ball. Woolfolk dribbles right, shoveled out. Elmer, wing three. Oh my goodness, it's not even close. Another air ball, and then a Miami foul. Elmer fouls Gillespie at midcourt. And this is a Miami team that not used to losing this year, and they're definitely not used to being down by 20. Obviously, they played in a lot of close games, but they're not used to being down this much, and you can see the frustration setting in. Tennessee on the inbound. Into the offensive end to our right. Boswell feeds it left. Okpara turns it into the corner. Now it's returned for Gillespie again, who turns the corner to the left elbow. Up with a lob, and Okpara upstairs flies to the rim and dunks it down. And Tennessee's lead is up to 22 points. Miami just can't find any answers. Skaljak right corner, threads a back pass to the wing. Woolfolk launches a three and hits it. Just the fifth three of the game for Miami. They were 4 of 17 from three-point range prior to that one. And they had missed 11 of their last 12. Woolfolk gets that one to go, but it's still a 19-point margin. Gillespie takes a ball screen top of the arc, directs it left. Estrella helped onto the wing for Evans. Evans one-hands a pass up top. Boswell, head of the key. Switches directions to his left. Feeds Evans again. Entry feed down low. Okpara took steps too many. It's a travel. And another Tennessee turnover. Timeout on the floor. 5 minutes gone in this second half. And it's still Tennessee with a 19-point lead. That was the halftime margin. It's the margin here at the first media timeout of the second half. JT, we saw a 19-point comeback with 15 minutes left last night with VCU. Well, there's 15 minutes left here, and it's a 19-point game, but I have a hard time seeing Miami coming back. They have not played well.
They have not, as I knock tons of faders, so I get deafened in my ears by the DAZN boxing and baller league music. Incredible. As for some reason they use its own music, because it is what it is. Yeah, big gap. As I press tons of stuff is happening behind the scenes, Matthew, believe me. So much that Discord keeps pinging me saying, you need to update. I can't update, I'm in a Discord call. We've got some important stuff going on, Discord.
I'm not a fan of updates.
Oh,
I've never been a fan of updates.
Oh, I know you are not. Oh dear. Don't get Matthew started with updates. Which I am going to immediately get Matthew started with updates. Your favourite update that you had. The Mixler update.
Oh god, that was awful. That was truly awful. Oh my god. That was...
I also had a run-in with updates when OBS updated to version 0.31. And all of my plugins that I had with all of my multi-screens don't support 0.31 it was when I upgraded to 0.32, all of the plugins crashed and I had to save everything, back up everything, uninstall OBS and re-import everything back to version 31. That was fun.
It sounds like it was thrilling stuff.
Yeah. We got a close ball game between Villanova and Utah State.
Yeah, now that one is close, and I think it's going to go right down to the wire.
Which I can't watch, Matthew.
Yeah, that's so dumb. I just don't understand.
Luckily, DAZN has it, because DAZN have every single game, so I can put it on DAZN, so it's okay. I have vision, Matthew.
Thank goodness. Oh, jeez.
It's time to play a ball game, Matthew.
It is. It is time to restart play, which we do, with Miami bringing the ball up court. To our left, red uniforms, white numbers, black trim. Woolfolk catch top of the circle, slashes in, kicks out, up for three, right wing, miss short from Kirby. Offensive rebound, Woolfolk. He gets it back to a cutter, driving in this time, Kirby, and he misses a lefty layup, too strong off the glass. Rebound down to Tennessee. Gillespie muscles in, then kicks back out. Boswell, return for Gillespie. Backpedals to the left of the March Madness logo, zigzags behind a screen from Okpara. Gillespie launches away, another three, and he swishes in another. Gillespie with 25 points. And yet another three-pointer for the senior from Greenville, Maryland. One of the best three-point shooters in the SEC. And then as it's been all day, Miami comes down and misses a three. Skulljack missed it short. Run out for Tennessee. Long ball ahead. Boswell caught it underneath. Had to whip it back outside. He was too far underneath the cylinder. Logo three, Gillespie. Missed it long. Okpara going up, or rather, I beg your pardon, Brown for the offensive rebound, and he got pulled from behind. It's a foul on Miami. It's a foul on Byers. So Jacoby Gillespie this year, fifth in the SEC in three-pointers per game, 2.7 made threes per game. As they inbound it to Evans out of the left corner. Deals it back outside for Brown. Helped along for Boswell. They blitz him with a double up top. Entry feed Brown. They double him. Right elbow extended. Now, Boswell floats a pass cross court in the left corner. Catching and firing for three is Evans. And it's knocked out of bounds by Okpara. So it'll belong to Miami. So again, Gillespie averages 2.7 threes per game. Today he's hit 6. He was also 8th in the conference in three-point percentage. This is his 20th game of the year that he's made 3 or more from downtown. Perry drives in from the left, flips it back outside. Kirby centers. Atlason dribbles right, feeds it that way. Byers, right baseline drive, flips it up circus-like. And still the lid is on the basket for Miami as it skips off both sides of the rim, no good. Okpara bear hugged the rebound, got it in transition. Here's Tennessee again. Gillespie with the ball in his hands. In the last 4 games for Tennessee coming into this tournament, Gillespie was only 4 of 24 from 3, but he's been magnificent from 3 today. Left corner 3 launched there, missed by Boswell. Miami in transition. Long pass. Gillespie knocked it out of bounds. It'll stay with Miami. JT?
We've got a tie game at Utah State, 65-65,
Wow.
with just over 8 minutes to go.
My goodness. They just went to a booth shot there of Catalan and Lapis calling the game for TBS as they nearly had a player fall right into their desk. Miami inbounds it to Perry. Perry brings it up the floor into the front court to our left. Perry slashes right along the arc, holds the ball over his head, cranks it left, gets it back from Byers. Perry, dribble drive to the basket, hesitates, kicks it back out. It's a late shot clock. They need to get a shot up, and I don't think they're going to. Nope. They didn't realize that the shot clock was winding down. Atlason didn't get a shot off. It's a violation of the 30-second clock. It's been a dream season for Miami, and it's been a nightmare today. That's their 12th turnover. They haven't been able to make threes. They haven't been able to stick with Tennessee in any way. Here's Gillespie, fake to 3, drives, dishes it off for a crashing in Dwayne Brown, and he slams it down again. He has left the rim crying multiple times in this game. Miami with the ball again. Suter directs it left on the wing. Byers back up top. Suter feeds it right. Perry brings it back middle of the floor. Edge of the logo. He'll drive down the middle. Staggers in. Lefty layup. Oh my goodness. Off the right side of the rim. No good. Rebound Tennessee. Running riot here. And a left baseline drive by Boswell. And he gets bodied and fouled. Foul on Byers. And a timeout on the floor with 11:45 left. 24-point interval here.
You will be happy to know, Matthew Owens, that during my stint as play-by-play announcer, that we did get a from downtown.
Hey, I'm more than happy to give you another stint before it's up here. Which I think,
I missed my bin.
what was that?
I missed my bin. It's in that corner, and it is in throwable distance, but it was a missed bin throw from JT.
I've never been able to play basketball worth a lick. Yeah, no. Not good. Not good, Bob.
Time to check the app. The special app, and it's dropping, but still not there.
I thought he was talking about a score app.
No.
It's not what he was talking about.
Basically, the lower the number, the stronger the storm is.
I have
So
never
minus
seen.
650.
I have never seen the Northern Lights, which is a shame.
That sounds like a you issue.
Yeah, it's a shame. I hate to have not been able to see it.
There has been some very strong ones. Right. The way it works,
We're gonna
There's
get a
a
science
12
lesson.
there's a 12-year cycle. You've got the stronger part and you've got the weaker part. We are in the stronger part of that 12-year cycle right now. So over the next couple of years, it'll be very strong before it goes really weak, and then that cycle will come around again, and it'll be really strong again.
The more
So much so that in January, we had the strongest substorm ever recorded. I believe the number got down to something like minus 5,000. It's currently at minus 650. So a long way to go.
Well, the more you know.
I have seen the Northern Lights with my camera and my eyes from my house. I have not had to pay however many hundreds of pounds to go to Iceland or Norway. Bear in mind, I have a massive airfield with a 2-mile long airstrip over there. I've got regional distribution centres for national commercial centres and shops. I'm going to shut up. We've got 3 throws. The first one's good.
Why do you need to shut up? I mean, I feel like everyone's enjoying this more than me yakking about.
Well, it's Bishop Boswell for the second free throw. Bounces the ball. It's up and it's good. 62-36. Miami O with the ball. Matthew.
Ian Elmer brings the ball up before handing off to Skalchak, who crosses midcourt. Directs a bounce pass to his right. Suter on the arc, centers back up top. Byers can't get free. Instead flips it back to his right. Atlason dribbles along the arc. He gives it up. This Tennessee, a sticky defense, that's for sure. Shot clock winding down again. Suter, they just had a shot clock violation. Suter gets it off this time. Off balance, fade away 3, and it goes down from the right flank. 62-39 as Tennessee brings it back up on this end. Boswell centers it. Berg moves in. Plays it to Brown, steps inside the lane, carves out space for himself, leans in, and he banks it home, but there's a whistle first. And I think that's a foul on Brown and Tennessee.
Matthew.
And
Never mind, we are back in play already. Wow.
And it was a foul on Brown, offensive foul. Miami the other way, and charging into the rim. Suter misses a runner off glass, but he's fouled. Boswell on the foul. What were you going to say?
Update on Villanova, Utah State. 5 minutes 40 left. Villanova 73, Utah State 71. Villanova 2 timeouts. Utah State 1 timeout.
And,
However, Utah State is in a bonus.
And Villanova has hit 14 threes. Utah State has only hit 2. So how that game is close, that's I would love to know. First free throw good by Suter. Shirtless men on our screens again, as if it's another banana ball game.
Is that guy okay? He's looking very red.
Suter hits the second free throw.
We've got a wedgie.
Oh, we do. No, that's not a wedgie. That's a ball, launched up, and oh my goodness, it's been trapped over the top of the backboard. They're going to have to get a cheerleader like they had to do a couple of years ago at that game. Was it Indiana and St. Mary's, I think it may have been. Oh, no, we've got a ball over the top of the backboard in San Diego. Tennessee back on offense here. They've turned it over. A steal by Byers. Will they get a cheerleader up there to get it out? That's, oh my goodness. Byers feeds Skaljak. Skaljak drives in from the right, hits the brakes. Has to play it back outside. Suter with 10 on the timer. Dribbles to his left. They blitz him with a double. He flings it to no one. Out of bounds in the near corner. Well, they got it out. I don't know how they did it. They didn't show, but they did get it out, didn't they?
They did indeed.
As we get deeper into this game, if it stays close, we will bring you live play-by-play of Utah State and Villanova. There's 5 minutes left. It's a 2-point game. Last foul was called on Tennessee's Boswell, his 4th. Miami on the inbound. 10 minutes left, perhaps in their season. Suter, a dribble drive. Ooh, works his way into the lane, and he gets grabbed and fouled. So another Tennessee foul here. As that goes on Evans. Fourth team foul to go against Tennessee. It was in the act of shooting. So Suter at the free throw line will shoot 2. 22 points for Suter. The rest of the Miami team combined has 19. First free throw is good. One more here for Suter. He's had some huge games this season. This is his 6th game over the 20-point mark. He swishes down the second free throw. He had a game against Buffalo middle of January where he scored 37. Tennessee struggling to get the ball into the front court here off the inbound, and Gillespie throws it away. A Miami turnover, and the other direction they come on the break, and throwing it up and in off the glass is Byers. Miami's starting to press full court to try to make Tennessee rush and create mistakes, and they certainly got one there. Margin down to 17. Gillespie dances up the right baseline, wow, and dumps it off underneath to Estrella, who was unmarked. And J.P. Estrella dunks it down. 6'11" big man from Maine. Tennessee outscoring Miami by better than a 3-to-1 ratio in the paint right now, 26-8. Suter up the right baseline, underneath the basket, comes back out of the left and gives it up top for a long 3. Atlason off the glass, off the rim, and no good. Rebound Tennessee with under 9 to go. They're just heading into the final media timeout in San Diego. Villanova leading by a deuce on Utah State. Gillespie spins the ball to his right. On the perimeter, it's taken by Berg. Backpedals on the March Madness logo. Shoots it to Gillespie. Dumps it in. Estrella got pushed from behind. Foul is on Suter. Fourth foul on Suter. And he will head to the bench along with Atlason. Inbound left wing. Okpara swings it into the corner. Gillespie tries another triple. That one missed off side of the rim. Woolfolk tracked down the rebound for Miami. He has it stripped away. He recovers and then puts it into the hands of Perry. Perry from the left of the logo at midcourt. Two-hand pass to his right. Byers way outside a 3. Barely grazed the front of the rim, but right place, right time. And finding the offensive rebound, Skaljak lays it back in. Just about 8 minutes left. Tennessee by 17. Gillespie centers a ball for Evans. Back for Gillespie. Off left arc. Estrella a screen. Gillespie steps back. Now feeds it into Estrella. Left lane line. Draws a double back out. Gillespie open look. Corner three. No. Estrella's tap back. That wouldn't go, but the second tap back does fall for Amari Evans, the freshman from Pittsburgh. Just too dominant on the glass. Flashing back the other way for Miami. Perry is fouled on the floor. 7:41 left. Halftime lead was 19. It is still 19. 12 minutes and change gone. Second half. Who did you pick in this game in your bracket, JT?
Probably whoever the highest seed was, knowing me.
So Tennessee would be that answer.
Yes, I did. I definitely picked Tennessee.
I had Tennessee as well.
Well, I can tell you that Villanova, Utah State are just about to get underway after their last media timeout. And it is going to start with free throws for Utah State. Bounces the ball, it is up, and it is good. They close the gap to 1. But a second free throw is coming to tie the game. MJ Collins Jr., 82.4% at the free throw line. He bounces the ball twice. It's up. And it's off the front of the rim. But a third free throw incoming for Utah State and Collins Jr. Bounces the ball twice. It's up, bends the knees, and it is good. And it's a level game with 3 minutes and 54 seconds left. Utah State, Villanova, 73 all Villanova with the ball.
Let's see what happens on this possession up the floor for Villanova, JT, while we're still in break here. Tell us what happens on this possession.
Just waiting for the clock to tick down on the logo. 0 points in the last 2 minutes, 30 seconds for Villanova. They'll look to change that. But it bounces off the glass and rebound Utah State. That looked like a rush attempt in my opinion. But Utah State just holding on the logo now. They'll look for the pass. They'll go to the right wing, up for a layup, bounces off the front wing, but a foul is called. And the clock is stopped for 3 minutes and 11 seconds. Foul on Villanova. Utah State will head to the foul line once more.
Utah State this season in games decided by single digits recorded a record of 10-1.
Drake Allen's first free throw is good. 74-73 Utah State now to make it 2. Back to this game.
Miami has inbounded. That free throw to make it a 2-point lead is good for Utah State. And Miami on the ball here with Elmer shooting a left corner three, and that's offline, as so many of them have been today for the RedHawks. Rebounded by Estrella in Tennessee. Villanova has missed their last 6 shots from the field, and they've just turned it over. A Villanova turnover and a break for Utah State, and a driving layup plus a foul. Utah State's lead is up to 4. Collins with the transition take. Meanwhile here, Gillespie with a layup through traffic extends the Tennessee lead. Wow. Poor Villanova turnover, and Collins just ripped it and ran it all the way. Miami scores as in tight. Perry with a lefty lay-in. 68-49. You'll have Collins going right back to the free throw line for Utah State to try to push the lead to 5. This game has been close throughout. Villanova did lead by 9 at one point in this second half. Tennessee ball here with Evans playing catch with Gillespie. Gillespie top of the arc, 27-point game for him. Might look for a 30-piece as he throws up a wild shot, but I think he may have been fouled on the floor. Clock stopped here. JT. Villanova, they need a basket.
They do, and it bounces off the glass and in once again. Whistle blows. They do get the rebound, but the whistle blew before.
So a foul first. Tennessee inbounds. Out off left wing, Akpara hands it off to Gillespie. Gillespie did have 2 30-point games in the regular season. Goes to the rim here and scores to give him 29. Jacoby Gillespie on a heater. Miami at the other end is getting through traffic. Perry's pull-up jumper, a 12-footer, misses short. Rebound Tennessee. And Gillespie once again has the ball in his hands. He had a season-high 34 against Texas earlier this season. That was a game in January, and we have an offensive foul away from the ball called on Tennessee. We'll give it back to Miami. Trailing by 21. Tennessee.
Fouled by Utah State.
Oh. Tennessee ranked 15th in the KenPom defensive rating category, and that defense has been spectacular here today. Oh, and it looks like Villanova just turned it over on the inbounds. JT, they didn't get it in clean.
They did not. Here's a replay.
Wow. 5-second call. He was trying to take a timeout, tried to take it too late. Utah State ball. Miami has free throws coming up here with Wolf-Falk, and Utah State gets another basket. That's MJ Collins again scoring on the inside, and the lead balloons to 7. Villanova takes a timeout, but this game seems to be getting away.
Miami missed their free throw, Matthew.
Been missing a lot today. One more at the line, and that also misses from Wolf-Falk. Tennessee with the rebound. 36% from the field today for Miami. They've made just 16 shots from the field this entire game. Ethan Berg puts it back into the hands of Gillespie. He's one basket shy of a 30-piece in the tournament. High screen Estrella. He ties it into Estrella, who just charges towards the rim into the body of Wolf-Falk. And a foul called defensively on Wolf-Falk. .505 left. And again, after this game comes to an end, we will sign off, and then we'll have the break between sessions. That'll be, honestly, probably be more like 45 minutes tonight. Last night, our break between sessions was a little over an hour as Estrella's free throw pops out on him. But the scheduled tip time for UCF and UCLA is 7:25. That's basically an hour from now. And this game won't bleed over too much longer. Estrella missed the second off the front. Elmer with the rebound. And as we go to the final 5 minutes here, unfortunately for Miami, these final 5 minutes, wow, as that ball got swatted away on the inside, comes back out. Perry feeds the left wing. 3, launched, missed, short by Byers, but sneaking in. Elmer with a rebound and a putback. Makes it 70-51. That was leading up to, unfortunately for Miami, these final 5 minutes is going to be more of a eulogy of their season. It's been a great, great season. But unfortunately, this will be the end of the road. Those points, by the way, from Elmer, his first of the game after scoring 23 on Wednesday night against SMU. Gillespie threads it in. Estrella spins inside, puts it up off the glass, no good, but he gets the tap follow to go. More second chance points on the offensive glass for Tennessee. It's been one of the big stories of the day. Perry for Miami, behind the back on the dribble. Goes down the middle to the foul line, spins it back out. Byers pivots on the right elbow. Tosses it back onto the midcourt logo to be controlled by Skaljak, who launches a straight-on three, and he swirls it in. They've needed more of those shots to go down today. Oh, Suter, I beg your pardon, on the three is fourth. I mean, he's been the only one doing scoring. 27 of their 54 points. Here's a lob by Evans, and Estrella hammers it down. Tennessee by 20. JT, what's going on in San Diego as that game has just gotten back?
Yeah, it was a 6-point ball game. Now an 8-point ball game. Utah State extend their lead. Villanova had free throws, but didn't capitalize. Only made 1 of 2. Utah State with the dunk.
Wow. It's gotten away from Villanova late. They have turned it over a lot down the stretch. Gillespie for 3. Pops out, and Estrella couldn't control the rebound, but it's off a red shirt last. We'll go to a timeout here. 2:55 left. Tennessee by 20. They're in cruise control to the finish here. And perhaps, JT, Utah State's in cruise control. This has been a close game throughout, but all of a sudden, right at the end, Utah State's gone ahead by 10. TBS shows just a father with his kids in Tennessee colors just getting slapped in the face by his kids with pom-poms.
56.2 seconds left on the clock. Foul once again. And that'll send Utah State to the foul line once more for even more free throws. It's a 10-point ball game. Villanova dropped down. There's a person walking out with a baby who's full asleep. Utah State, first free throw goes all the way around the rim and bounces out. Still a 10-point ball game. And, well, we cut back to this woman again. I would like to see the free throw, please. Bends knees up, and it is good. 11-point ball game, 56 seconds to go. Villanova with the ball now, charging into the paint, up for 2. And the rebound is good. 85-76. 9-point ball game. 48 seconds left. 1 timeout each way. There's Utah State. And is that a timeout called or foul? Are we getting a challenge here? The coach is animated from the Utah State side. Are they wanting a 5-second? Are they wanting a 5-second violation?
Well, they have given it.
They've overturned it.
Yeah. And Villanova missed a 3 on the inbounds. That was really their one lifeline that they had there.
I want to know why the Utah State coach was animated about them overturning a decision against them. You had the balls. Just stay quiet. Utah State you had Utah State to free throw line once again. You have a 9-point lead. It's all right. Make that 10 as Allen's free throw goes in. 61.8% from the free throw line. Today has made 4 out of 5, and they'll try and make 1 more to make it an 11-point ball game with 44 seconds left on the clock, and it bounces off the front of the rim. Villanova have possession, but time is ticking. Into the paint they go on their side. They'll try and pass it out. Look for a 3. Instead, they do the spin button, turn around, try and get a layup, but it bounces off the Utah State's foot and out of bounds. 32.8 seconds. 10-point ball game, Matthew. This is nearly over, or is possibly over already.
Yeah, it does feel like that Villanova has let this one slip out of their grasp. down the stretch. Oh, my goodness, they've just turned it over again, actually, Villanova. Wow. Here in Philly, Tennessee inbounds, and we are getting towards
shot clock's turned off.
The finish. Yep, we're going to get you to the end of this game. Go ahead, JT.
13 seconds left, and the shot clock is turned off, and Utah State will just count the clock down. 7 seconds, Fulsey with the ball, just walking around the logo. Back to Miami, Tennessee. Its final score, Utah State 86, Villanova 76.
Back underway here. Miami ball down by 22. We've got a foul away from the ball that stops the clock with 2:28 left. JT.
That could have happened 10 seconds earlier, so I didn't have to speed talk.
Yeah, JT calling games, doing scoreboards of other games. JP Estrella checks out for Tennessee. Double-double for him today. 14 points, 10 rebounds, his 5th double-double of the season. Miami off the trigger end. Into the offensive end of the floor. Byers, dribble drive into the paint. Spins, fakes left, goes right, fadeaway jumper. It's another miss. It's just been the story of their day. Shots that have been falling for them all year long. They haven't been today. 37% from the field in this game for a team that, across the season, 52% shooting team. Gillespie darts a pass inside. Okpara catches on the left lane line, lost it, throws it back out. Gillespie drives up the middle. Oh, and lost the ball on his way up. That would have given him 30. And out of the scramble, Miami comes back away with it. And here come the RedHawks. Elmer jab step off right wing, gives it up. Skowjak back into Elmer, rolling to the basket, and Elmer lays it in. About a minute and a half left. Tennessee ball. And they'll just hold on to it here. In fact, Gillespie's cradling the ball here on the midcourt logo. Just bleeding clock. Gillespie loops a pass now to his right for Evans. Gillespie's a bucket shy of 30. Perhaps he'll go for it here. Down the lane, Gillespie drives, throws up a lob, and it's a dunk down for Okpara. Exclamation point. Timeout is taken with 56 seconds left. And Gillespie will exit the game. And what a performance from Jacoby Gillespie today. He had 22 points in the first half. He'll end with 29 to go along with 3 rebounds and 9 assists. And Tennessee's back with the ball out of that timeout. I don't know how exactly they got the ball back. But anyway, Amari Evans puts it on the deck, drives in, banks it up with the right hand. No rebound, cleared away by Byers. Outlet it on for Suter. Cross-court feed, deep 3, Elmer. No, too strong. Rebound is batted. Out of bounds to Tennessee. 24 seconds to go. Sad ending for Miami, who took so many college basketball fans on a magic carpet ride this season. They were undefeated all the way into March. Going into their conference tournament, they rightfully made the tournament. They did win a tournament game, albeit in the first 4. But today, too much Tennessee. Too much size, strength, and muscle. And Rick Barnes leads Tennessee to the second round. It's a 78-56 victory over Miami. And the RedHawks' proud season comes to an end by losing 2 of their last 3 games. They'll finish the season with a record of 32-2. Still just a phenomenal season for this Miami University program. But it's Tennessee beating them today by 22 points. Again, Utah State and Villanova has gone final. Utah State has won it. And Tennessee has won here against Miami. We're going to sign off quickly. Next wave of games starts up in about half an hour. We're back here for the Philadelphia Pod games in about 55 minutes for UCLA and UCF. So we'll sign off quickly so we can rest up, get some food, and we'll be back for you for the Knights and the Bruins. That's coming up in a little